I think I'm the only one you got modded.
I think I did toss Sam a wrench.
All right, you live, Ma?
Hey, what's up? Y'all know I never come in. Y'all know this. Y'all know I be
ever.
Y'all know I be the pieces when I come in, so y'all just have to forgive me. All right, Lady D, do you wanna go ahead and give your? Did you give your thoughts about the Riverlands with Arya and Hot Pie?
I don't think she did. I think she dropped out before that.
Okay.
Go ahead, B.
I was in it, and then it went away. But basically, I felt like she was really playing up being Ari or Ari. Everything was basically a call back to the last time that she saw Hot Pie. Everything from her biting into the meat pie and saying, it's good, like the last time she had the biscuit, to tapping him on the shoulder and saying, try not to get yourself killed. Everything was just all back to that season when they had to split up and he lost his friend. And he recognized that. And he said to her, Ari, what happened to you? Because again, when, the scene first starts, you see Arya being no one. She's sitting there in the tavern and she's listening. She's listening to the people behind her. She's listening to the people in front of her. She's watching and she's waiting for Hot Pie. She's waiting for Hot Pie because she's got her back turned, like literally. And when he shows up, she's just like, hello, Hot Pie. I'm not even like surprised by it. So she comes out of being no one to being Ari. And then in that moment where he tells her Jon Snow is king of the North, she becomes Arya. For a split second, we see Arya, that playful, like clumsy little, food on her mouth. What? Yeah, again, just for a split second. But then she goes right back to Arya and, Hot Pie, don't get yourself killed. I'll see you later, man. And she hops on that horse. Was that all with the Riverlands?
Her meeting up with Nymeria.
Oh, Nymeria. I was so sad. I was like, no, Nymeria, don't do this. Do not do this. But I get it. Like, Nymeria knows that winter is coming, yo. Nymeria knows that winter is here. Nymeria knows that 6 years ago when you left me here, this place was green. And I was small. And there was food. And now there's no food. And it is cold. Like where we came from. Like, not only that, we know the direwolves are linked. So at this point, she's like, I have felt 3 of my brothers and 1 of my sisters die. I am not going north. I'm not going anywhere. And I almost feel like she was looking at Arya like, Arya, come with me. Come with me. Don't even go north. Like, what are you doing? Come with me. You're going the wrong way. If they didn't know who she was, they would have attacked her. Like calm. She was like, it's me, girl. You saw it in her eyes and everything. She's looking at her like, I hear what you're saying, stupid human. Come with me. Like, you go north, it's a problem. Like, don't go there. I expect that won't be the last time that we see Nymeria. So I think it's okay. It was sad though.
That is so true that you make that point. I think they both were pleading with each other to come home. But they both had different definitions of what home is. You know what I mean? Because for Arya, Winterfell was home. And for Nymeria, the Riverlands is home. You know what I mean? And they both, if they both if they both go where they don't belong, they're going to end up dead. Like if Arya stays in the Riverlands, who says that she's going to survive? But she's gonna die anyway, so it don't make no matter. I'm sorry, Arya fans. I'm sorry. I don't mean.
You shut your blasphemous mouth right now, woman.
I don't mean no harm by that. I don't mean no. Hey. I need y'all not to be louder than me. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So.
All right, real quick. I forgot something I wanted to touch on. I think it was a really good book nod from D&D when Hot Pie was telling her, like, I can't believe I ever thought you were a boy. You're pretty. And, you know, book readers know Arya is always compared to Lyanna Stark. And Lyanna Stark was said to be very beautiful. Never mind that, you know, being called Arya Horseface or Arya Underfoot and all that nonsense when she was a kid at Winterfell. No. Arya has always been pretty. She's always been beautiful. It wasn't just her attitude and how she carried herself that reminded Ned of his sister. It was her look. You know, you look at all of the kids, Arya's the only one that has the Stark look. Well, the only one from Ned that has the Stark look. And I think that was a really, really great tidbit for them to just toss in. It's like, we got y'all. We know. So, yeah, I appreciated that. Excuse me. And what Lady D just said in the chat, you know, Lyanna was a wild beauty, uncontrollable like Arya. Yeah, that's the perfect comparison. Hey, Left Sack. Hey, Clooney. I appreciate you being here. Congratulations on your grandson. He is absolutely adorable. Thank you for sharing the pictures on Facebook.
Sweet. Yeah, grandpa. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so that's all that we had happen in the Riverlands. It was very small. The next spot we're gonna go to is the Citadel. So in the Citadel, the first thing that we see in the Citadel is Sam and Maester Ambrose are treating Jorah Mormont. As we can see, Jorah has his grayscale has advanced all. Please. I am talking. Please, quietly. Okay? Quietly, okay? Okay, thank you. His grayscale has advanced past his arm. It's actually all the way up to his chest and down like his back, and it's coming across his stomach and all that other gibberish. So his grayscale has advanced quite a bit since last season. So they're having a discussion about he's asking the Maester how long does he have until the grayscale, you know, affects his brain, you know what I mean? And also Sam interjects like, isn't there a way for them to cure? Look, please be quiet. I'm begging y'all in front of all of these people to please quietly, okay? Play quietly. I put the TV on for y'all. Go watch the TV. They won't let me be great. They just refuse.
You know what, Monero? I have no sympathy for you because the one time that I had tiny humans on my chat, what was I told? When they kept interrupting, I was like, no, the show is not about you. You and AU, shout out AU, you know you my boy. Both of y'all was like, no, this stream is now about them. You know, AK don't matter no more and blah, 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 blah. So I have no sympathy for you, madam.
Yeah, but we're conducting business right now.
Mm-hmm. We was conducting business then.
We were talking tomfoolery.
No, we were not. We were in the middle of a chapter discussion. Don't try to make excuses. Look at this nonsense. Y'all see how they were doing the Lord Commander, man? Just terrible.
But that little tiny human was too cute, though.
Okay, but your tiny humans are too cute, too.
They're all right.
Excuses. Look, y'all see this? Y'all see this nonsense? This is how I be treated.
Anyway, let me not get too off topic. So Sam brings up the fact that he met Shireen, Stannis' daughter, and she had grayscale and she was cured. And of course, Mr. Ambrose interrupts him and was being all mean. It's like, look, do you understand grayscale? Do you understand the final points? Do you understand about how advanced grayscale, how to treat it, blah, 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 blah. And Sam was like, no. He's like, so he basically was telling him, like, shut up and let grown folk do what they do. And he also tells Jorah, look, if he had been a commoner, he would have shipped him off to go live out his life with the stone men across the water. But because he's an anointed knight, he's going to give him one more day. And he like looks at Jorah's like sword, kind of like giving him a hint, like, kill yourself. You know what I mean? Kill yourself. And then the next thing that we see is Sam and Maester Ambrose are walking through the library and he's having a conversation. I guess Maester Ambrose is trying to write a book. and he talks about how he's writing this book, but he's not writing it so that it just sit on a shelf. And they talk about the title, and then Sam then brings up about him reading about curing grayscale from Maester Pylos, and then and then Maester Ambrose shuts him down by saying, "Should I tell you how Maester Pylos died?" He's like, "Yeah, grayscale." So, and then the next thing we see is Sam showing up to Jorah Mormont's room, basically telling him, "Look, I knew your dad. I was there when he died. You know what I mean? And you're not going to die today. But please, for the love of God, I need you to be quiet because this is going to hurt. But I need you to be quiet because if anybody finds out, we both done." And he proceeds to go and try to do what it is that he needs to do in order to, administer the whatever potion or whatever it is to kind of combat the grayscale. So, Lady D, I'm going to kick it to you first, and then we're going to go to AK about what your thoughts were about the scene at the Citadel.
So the scene at the Citadel, first with Maester Ambrose, whatever, ignoring Sam throughout the entire, I guess, the library, and just loading them down with books and talking about style. And I thought it was hilarious. He's getting a book saying, "Oh yeah, I need style," and the name of his volume has absolutely no style whatsoever. I mean, none. Says, "No, it could be a little bit more poetic," and he's like, "Well, we're not poets." It's like, "But aren't you though? Scholars and whatnot. You guys should care about style and prose," which is why I think you're grabbing that book. So that was funny. It was interesting because, again, it was almost like how when I'm confronting him with the reality of the White Walkers, like, "Listen, they're here." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I know they're there. I know that thing exists. And this is my attempt at dealing with that." It's like, you're not good at that at all. Like he's a pretty horrible maester in my opinion. And then when we get to the point where he's like, "Oh, well, this is your moment, Sam, don't waste it." And Sam goes ahead and takes that moment. It's almost frivolous because it's like, well, any moment that he has with you is going to be wasted in a way because you don't really listen or you don't really process. And then when they're in there with Jorah and Sam realizes who he is, I think that's what stands out the most to me about that scene. Sam realizing, "Oh, this is Jorah Mormont's son. This is the Lord Commander's son. I'm a sworn brother of the Night's Watch. Lord Mormont was like my father. This is my brother." And not only that, but I also need to figure out how to cure this thing. I'm here for that. You know what I'm saying? He honestly and truly, this doesn't have anything to do with the White Walkers as far as he knows right now, right? All he knows is another application of dragon glass. Well, he's going to take this opportunity to try and save this man's life because realistically, he could get thrown out of the Citadel for what he's doing right now. And he's trying to save Jorah. So it's like Sam once again showing you, "I'm not a coward." Showing you, "I'm not a coward." Like he believes he's a coward, but Sam is no coward. I think it goes back to that episode when they were attacking the wall. The wildlings were attacking the wall, and Sam and Pip were talking, and Pip was scared. And he was telling them how he killed the White Walker. If you guys remember that. And he was like, "Well, how'd you kill him?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I had no choice because of Gilly, And if you would have asked me what my name was in that moment, like I was nobody, like I was nobody. I was so scared." And he's like, "Well, aren't you scared now?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm scared, but I'm not nobody." And I think like that marks the change. Like Sam is Sam. He's not a nobody. Sam is Sam. He's a slayer. And that's what he's there to do. And so he's there to save Jorah that night, to save Jorah. And we see him mixing the potions. Like he's ready. You know what I'm saying? Like he obviously listen, he had to be coming to see Jorah, you know what I'm saying, feeding him and all that other stuff. And at night, in the weeks or whatever that passed between the episodes, he's studying, how do I do this? This isn't a cookbook, y'all. Like, he can't just put these ingredients together and come up with medicine that's going to cure grayscale. If that was the case, it'd be cured by now. So I think that he's going through the motions that he needs to. He's making sure that he researches everything, like slaying again, like it's just another example of courage. And he comes in there fully prepared with everything that he needs. And of course, we know he's going to cure Jorah, but he gets to it. And take the swig of the rum. He's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm ready. All right. You drink that whole thing. Actually, I'm going to drink a fourth of it. You drink this other 3/4 of this thing, and let's get on to it. Gives it to Jorah, and you can see the excruciating pain, and we finally see what's under that grayscale. Always wondering what's under the grayscale. It looks like it's festering the skin or something like that. It's so much pus. It's absolutely disgusting. And when he explains that he actually has to do this to his entire body to take off that, I guess what we would consider to be the epithelial layer of skin, you know what I'm saying, to expose, man, listen, it was pretty gross. It was gross. But again, back to the courage that it takes from Sam to be able to face that. You know what I'm saying? And the dedication to the Night's Watch. Like, I'm going to save my brother. So it's just Sam. These were great scenes for Sam. You know, we talk about bravery. We talk about the truest knights in Westeros, and we don't talk about Sam at all. But he's up there, and I really enjoy these scenes with him. Oh, and the transition from pus to food was absolutely disgusting. And HBO, you know, somebody should be shot, you know, saying in the face because that was disgusting. So that was the most disgusting. When I say shot in the face, I mean with some disgusting, not something that's going to kill you, but something that's really pussy and just so that you can feel what you made us all feel. It was just I was chilling out, then he crushed into the pus, and it was just an entire, he ate it, and I was confused because I'm like, what? Oh my God. And yeah, so it was a pretty interesting transition. I really enjoyed it. That was it.
Okay, yeah. So first thing I'm gonna say, if y'all have been watching my live reactions thus far, I've been BBM has been laughing at me because I've been making a lot of Harry Potter references, and you know, you're a wizard, Sam Tarly, and Sam is proving to be, you know, the studied student. You know, he broke into the Citadel restricted section, #Hogwarts restricted section, and he got the knowledge that he needed. However, the grossness overtakes a lot of my points when I think about it. But my first thing is, how come Jorah seemed to be going crazy? When we first saw the hand come out, he was you know, going on and on about Daenerys and has she come to the Seven Kingdoms yet, and blah blah blah, and he seemed out of sorts, the grayscale was already affecting his mind. But then we get to this episode and dude's perfectly sane. He's still afflicted with this disease, but he's perfectly sane. He's coherent in everything he says and listens to. So I mean, he was writing a letter near the end of it. So I don't know, that transition bothers me a little bit. See you later, Left Side. Thank you for coming in. Again, congrats on the grandbaby. Your grandson is all the cutes. Thank you for stopping in. Okay, but yeah, that transition with Jorah being seeming a little bit unhinged and now being completely coherent bothers me a little bit, you know, but that's a small thing. I think Sam, you know, got the raven that T-Baby sent out to everyone, because if y'all notice, when he took that swig, he did it before Jorah did. So, you know, again, Jorah, stop touching shit, and, you know, hit the like button on this video before Jorah does, so you don't get that grayscale either. Let's see what else. Also, I like the setup that Sam had. You know, he came in with full gear. My only myth about that is he should have been wearing something over his face, be completely covered, completely safe, and you know, they've left it open that maybe he could contract this disease, because when you're working with people that have grayscale, you're very open to getting the disease. Grayscale is highly contagious. I feel like the way it's described in the books, someone with grayscale could almost breathe on you and you're at risk. But, you know, Sam is a beast. You know, Sam's a slayer. He's got things to do. So hopefully that doesn't touch him. What up, Lord Dom? Thanks for coming in. Let's see. What else did I have on that? I think that was it. I really just wanted Sam to be in like the full hazmat suit while working on Jorah, because that shit was just nasty. Just I can't explain in words how disgusting I thought it was. And what the hell is with D&D this season with transitioning food to disgusting things? I need y'all to not do that for the rest of the season, please. D&D. I mean, I know filming's already done and everything's already edited and whatnot, but stop it right now, because that's nasty. We had the shit going to the bowl of brown, and then now we had grayscale pus going to a fucking chicken pot pie and shit. Come on now. Why is that necessary? That's all I got.
I actually like those transitions. I think they're funny.
You would like those damn transitions. You're crazy.
Oh, Naro. Oh,
exactly,
come on.
Exactly. Come on, man. 10 points from Gryffindor. 10 points from Gryffindor for that.
Oh my gosh, you're muted too. You're muted, you disgusting lady. You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted because YouTube knows that what you just said was absurd and ridiculous, and you needed to be muted for those couple seconds.
Look, it's humorous. I don't get lost in the humor of things.
See, you on level with Timo now. Come on now. Really?
I think it's hilarious. I think those transitions are. You'd be amazed how much you don't pay attention to a lot of the stuff that you eat. Actually, looks like a lot of the diseases that are. It just looks like it all looks like scrambled eggs and chicken and tofu. I thought it was hilarious. I love that transition.
And you have to throw scrambled eggs into that. And you know, breakfast is my favorite meal of the day.
It's not gonna keep me from eating it though. I'm just saying, I'm gonna eat it. Sorry. I thought it was funny. I think it's funny. I think it's humorous. I hope they do some more of it. I think it's absolutely hilarious.
Yo, every episode from now on, y'all, we're gonna get something like that. Just blame Monero. Blame Monero because she wished it upon us.
I take it. Okay, so I'm gonna be the Jorah sympathizer here. For this particular scene. Yeah, I'm gonna be the Jorah sympathizer.
Sorry to the tiny human ears. I forgot they were there.
He is I didn't get I didn't get that same vibe that you just mentioned, AK, that he's coherent, that there was some disconnect with whether he's incoherent, whether I think anytime anybody is going through a change, going through a stage of a certain disease, until the thing actually fully takes place, you'll probably have moments of lucidity and then moments of dementia. And it could be it could very well be that's probably what happened. I don't see it as that. Like the first time that we saw him when he grabbed at Sam, I thought he was perfectly coherent. But I just think that the way that they just played the scene out was just for shock factor. I didn't get the impression that he wasn't lucid at all. But it could very well be that might have been the case. And if that was the case where he was having a moment of dementia, it's perfectly normal because the disease has not reached its full stage of taking his brain function away yet. So he may have periods of dementia and periods of lucidity, and he may go back and forth until the disease actually starts to take over his brain. So it wouldn't be that far a stretch for that to happen. Got what you need? Cool. And then also I knew from the time when Sam brought up the whole thing about Maester Pylos that he was going to go play Dr. Zhivago on Jorah. He was gonna get all his stuff and be like Doc Frankenstein and say, let's go see what we can do. that scene was gross. The whole thing with the peeling of that first layer of skin and getting to that underneath tissue, and that underneath tissue having but at least it kind of gives you a visual about how grayscale comes about. Like it comes in stages. There's stages to it about how the skin hardens and becomes like stone. So it was a really good visual. Maybe for me, because I come from a line of people that have worked in doctors and hospitals and all that other stuff. So it was very fascinating for me in that sense to be able to see it visually, how the grayscale thing works. And Jorah was our avenue to that. The only other thing that I think I want to point out is I think Sam is like a real G. I really, really, really loved him in this episode. I really gained a whole new appreciation for Sam Tarly in this episode. And like you said, Lady D, you know, he knew his dad. He was a brother of the Night's Watch, and Jorah Mormont was kind of like his dad. And so this is kind of like him trying to save his brother. And I really dig that analogy, because in a sense, you know, this is who they are. You know what I mean? He's not necessarily a brave guy. He's not necessarily, you know, a fighter or anything like that. But, you know, this is his weapon. Just like Tyrion said, you know, Tyrion said that his mind was his weapon. Well, this is Sam's weapon, you know, his ability to be able to use his brain and to be able to help people in a different sense. That is how he was able to be the hero in that moment. And so I truly appreciated that part of it. And that's all I've got to say. If either of you have anything else y'all want to add.
Nope, all good on Jorah.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I mean, like T, I just need him to like not be touching shit at all.
Sam was the one that presented him with that.
I understand. I understand.
And Sam was wearing gloves. And let me also point out, for the times that in the period that they were living in, that was as covered as they were gonna get. That was as much PPE as he had. It's not like advanced medicine now where people wear like, you know, full head.
No,
like
in medieval days, they had like that weird face mask they had with like the elongated nose and whatnot. They had that. I guess Westeros has never heard of that though. Yeah.
Well, I guess it would depend on the time period of feudalism.
True.
Okay. The last scene that we're going to talk about is the Ironborn, Euron and the Greyjoy. So, hold on one second.
Don't beat the babies. T ain't here, so I got to say it for her. Don't beat the babies. Look, Monero has just been steadily getting more and more fed up. Hug it out. There you go. Because she's muted. Oh, the tiny human looks sad. No, what happened? What happened to the boy tiny human?
The iPad died.
Oh, that's so sad. Don't give me that look. I'm trying to sympathize.
So, okay, so we get to the Ironborn, right? So the Ironborn, so we open up with Yara we open up with the 3 sand snakes. They're below decks and they're teasing Tyene, right? That's the youngest one. That's what they call it. Yeah. They're teasing Tyene about, you know, her saying mama this and mama that. And we also get to I guess the captain's quarters, where Yara and Ilaria and Theon are all talking about the finer points of the Ironborn ale. And Ilaria and Yara start flirting with each other, and then next thing we know, boom, all heck is starting to break loose. They run they run up top from below decks. She tells her to stay, and when they get up top, you know, there's a firestorm brewing. Next thing you know, Euron silence comes through. There's a whole bunch of carnage that's taking place. Two of the sand snake bites it. Ilaria and Tyene are taken, and Euron and Yara face off, and he bests her, and Theon breaks and jumps overboard. So, Lady D, will you kick us off with your thoughts on that ending scene, and then we'll go to AK.
Okay. I think the fight against the Ironborn was a pretty amazing scene. A fight amongst the Ironborn was a pretty amazing scene. And here's why. Like, we learned a few things. One, Euron ships are huge. They are massive compared to Yara's ships. And I'm thinking maybe regular sized ships, whatever they are. They are huge. So I don't know if these are war galleys or what, but these things are huge. They're massive, and they have these incredible black sails that sort of like block out, I feel like, the moonlight even. So it just looks like it's darkness until it's up on you, and then you can tell it's a sail. It was amazing. The inside of the ships are lined with metal. When they were hopping out of them, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" He has the foresight to have ships that are lined with metal inside and out. Are you kidding me? He has armored ships. This guy, like, he's ready to fight Daenerys if he needs to. Like, he had fireballs coming from the sky as if he was expecting a fight with a dragon. Like, he was ready. He was ready. Fireproof ships or flame retardant, I guess, ships and all. So it was really interesting watching it because Yara's fleet was just completely decimated. And you see like the awesomeness of Yara, like really getting it, just hopping from person to person, person to person. You see Theon getting it in a little bit too. And she laid eyes on Euron, like she was ready. She didn't back down. She was ready. And I think that speaks to the strength of Yara. So she's definitely going to die because that was probably the best scene that we've gotten from her. So I hope you guys enjoyed it because she's definitely going to bite the dust now. Like, that's basically confirmed because that was a great scene. So death to her. And something else I can say is that when she took, and like, she took a moment in the fighting literally to look around and watch, I guess, all her dreams burn. And I think she knew in that moment, like, it's over. Like, she's like, it's over. But she's still fighting, like, still fighting. Fighting for what? Don't really even know because all of the ships are on fire at this point. So how are you guys even going to escape? It's not like you can send a raven from the middle of the sea, right? So it was, I don't know, it was really amazing to see, again, the ships inside and out and how Yara was fighting. Now, as far as the Sand Snakes and Ilaria goes, listen, Honey with that knife is not a game. She's Honey with the knife. Tyene was not. She was in there getting it. You have to give it to her. She was in there at first getting it, like do do do, and all she had was a little knife. You know, like, so. I feel like if they were better armed, you know, they might have made it out of there. Clearly, they weren't going to make it off the ship, but you know, they might have made it out of there. I don't know. They're gonna die too, which, you know, good riddance to Dorne because they totally messed up Dorne, but Yara, I don't know if she's going to give back to Euron or if he can torture her and then kill her or whatever, or try to use her as a pawn to get Theon. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting that what happens to Yara. But the Sand Snake and Ilaria, they're biting the dust. I definitely see them hanging out with the Mountain very soon, whether it's in the Dragon Pit, since Tyene wanted to fight him so bad, or, you know, if it's shame, 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 and wine boarding time, you know, in the basement, wine boarding in the basement. I think that it's going to be interesting to see what happens because we're not talking about preview, so I can't, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think that's it. I don't have anybody else. Is there anybody else we're missing from the ships? I don't think so. That's it.
All right, so I'm gonna say I did enjoy this battle. I do wish that it was a little bit longer, but I definitely enjoyed it. Lady D brought up a really good point. Euron ships are fucking massive. So again, I am questioning where the fuck did the Ironborn find all this wood and the time and people to freaking build and put all the detail into these ships that they did. And actually, I'm gonna stop right now. Go ahead, Lady D. Go ahead, finish up. Talk about Theon.
No, you're supposed to finish yours. I said, please.
No. Do it. Already passing the mic. It's yours.
No. All right. Okay. On Theon, guys, like Theon reeked out. Like that's all I can call it is reeking. Theon reeked out. And so, like, there's a couple things. One, a call back to Yara looking around and realizing, hey, this is over. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to fight it out because I am Ironborn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am the Ironborn. She's not backing down. And she realized it. You know what I'm saying? Death is pretty imminent from this. And when Euron gets her and Theon looks around, he sees teeth being pulled out. He sees ears being cut off. He sees the Dreadfort, and he's freaked out. Like, and you're respectfully so. Like, he has PTSD. Now, like, if you had a knife or something, you want to throw whatever you felt comfortable, whatever, because the reality is he's probably going to kill Yara anyway. And as that reality sets in those moments, I think that's when we see the tear rolling down Yara's cheek, because she's shaking her head a little bit no, like, at first, I'm thinking she's saying no, as in no, like, Theon, don't you hop, do not, because I was yelling at Theon. I was sitting on my bed yelling at the TV, Theon, don't you hop your Theon, if you hop off. And then he did it, and I was like, he hopped off. Like, it was hilarious. Like, I'm like, I knew he was going to do it. But in rewatching that scene, I have to question, like, if the tables were turned, right, it's my sister, and I realized I'm going to die anyway, because he's going to kill me anyway. Is she shaking her head no, as in no, don't leave me here? Or is she shaking her head no, like it doesn't even matter, like don't try? How far would he have honestly gotten from the midpoint of the ship all the way to Euron, in between all of those people? He wasn't going to make it. And honestly, they may have a better chance separated, because maybe he tries to pit one against the other for some political reason. I don't know. I don't see that happening. I see Yara dying anyway. But at the end of the day, Theon, he reeked out. He had a moment where he was back in the Dreadfort, guys. He was back, and you saw it. You saw it in his eyes. He started freaking out, breathing all weird. He dropped the sword like he couldn't grip it. Remember, his fingers messed up. He lost it. That was pretty sad to see, but that's what you get when you're invading people's homes and stuff. They love you, and you're like a son. You climb the walls.
Yeah, I agree. But let's see, where was I? I don't remember where I was, so I'll just start over. I enjoyed the battle. I wish it would have been longer, but I get why they did it the way they did. I'm still questioning, the magic wood that was found to build these huge ass ships with all the detail. Not just huge ships, but with the detail. Like, did y'all really look at the silence last episode and this episode? That shit looks fucking spectacular. Where did they have the time or the people to build these ships? But whatever. That's neither here nor there. We'll get past that. Tyene, I believe, is who was below with Alaria, and like Lady D said, girl was doing the damn thing. She really was, with just a fucking dagger, until she got outnumbered, and she was doing the thing. And I think Alaria called it right when she was like, "Just kill us and get it over with." And they cut to that random Ironborn number 3, and he was like, "No, no. You know, you're not going to die. No, there's a worse fate waiting for you. So both of them taken. They'll probably be dead by the next episode. However, what I did notice also, you know, Obara and the other girl, I don't remember her name, so I call her, you know, random Sand Snake number 2. Obara died, and at that moment, Sand Snake number 2, she went into beast mode. Like, did y'all notice her personal fight with Euron? She almost had his ass. She almost had him, yoked him up with the whip, and almost had him. But then, you know, he moved faster than her with grabbing the blade back up, and she got too. It was almost over. It was almost over, but she wasn't quick enough. I did appreciate them showing true Sand Snake skill in that right though. The other thing is I know Theon has PTSD. I know he like Lady D said, he was flashing back to the Dreadforts and seeing ears get ripped off and tongues getting ripped out and whatnots. But I'm just saying, if that was me, any of my sisters or my little brother, if I see them in danger, I'm not running away. I'm not running away. Yara more than likely will be killed. I honestly don't think that she's part of the gift that is given to Cersei, because Cersei really doesn't care about the Ironborn. They haven't really done shit to offend her. Her goal is getting the Sand Snakes and Alaria. I think Euron took Yara for his own personal gain, so he can take her and show the Iron Fleet or the rest of the Ironborn that are still alive. Yeah, I got this motherfucker that other people said was gonna be queen, and sadly Yara's gonna die. I hate it because she's awesome and she's badass. Y'all know she's the only Greyjoy I fucks with, but she ain't gonna make it. Theon, however, little reek, because like Lady D said, he did reek the fuck out. That's exactly what happened. He reeked and he jumped off the damn ship like a punk. He's still a bitch. I understand he went through some shit, but he's still a bitch right now. No, that I can't see myself in any situation just leaving my siblings like that. It's just it's fucked. It's fucked either way, honestly, no matter how you look at it. And I think he's going to reap the rewards of him running away from that fight soonish. I don't see Theon making it out of this season. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I think his days are very much numbered. The scene as a whole, though, I did very much enjoy the battle. That's all I got.
Okay, so my thoughts. The battle was just enough for me. Like I already told y'all, I'm not into like, you know, gratuitous violence and gore and all that other stuff. So it was enough for me. I wasn't really all that bothered by the Sand Snakes dying or anything like that. It is what it is. I wasn't really too bothered with the Ilaria and Tyene thing. It is what it is. They're going to be the gifts. I think that Yara is going to play the part of Aeron, the Damphir from the Forsaken chapter. She's probably going to be taking his place on the show, because we don't have the Damphir. So she's probably going to play that part. So she's going to get tortured by Euron. I want to end on Theon, and Theon got what he did, paid the price for his sins against Winterfell when he got taken by Ramsay. Now, I'm not into human torture, you know what I mean? But he paid a heavy price for that, and he's already a very broken individual. I mean, there isn't much left of Theon other than what you see on the surface. He is way too broken an individual. I don't know of anyone who goes through those types of traumatic experiences and doesn't get any kind of therapy for it, that can bounce back and be able to act in a normal fashion. And I know everybody expect, because that was his sister, that he should have just acted. It's not as simple as that. A broken individual is a broken individual. Brother, sister, mother, father, best friend, it doesn't matter. A broken individual is a broken individual. And as much as he may have wanted to try and save his sister, he was way too broken. The thought, like Lady D said, the whole scene just brought him back to a place he did not want to go back to. And that fear overrode any sense of urgency he probably or may have had to want to go save his sister. And Yara already knew he was broken. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, believe she already knew. That's why she cried that tear. She knew he was broken. She knew. There wouldn't have been no reason for him to go and try to give up his life to go and save her. Because had he tried to go and save her, he'd have been dead. I don't think he was ever even going to kill Yara. He was just going to get rid of Theon. He was just going to kill him. Yara was going to go along with him because Yara is going to serve a purpose for him. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people looked at him and was like, yo, he's a punk, blah, 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 blah. Call it what you will. But unless you have personally gone through that extent of human torture for such an extended amount of time, and you have not had a time to heal from it, you know what I mean? Everybody's just expecting you to just be a man. It doesn't work that way. That's not how that goes. And the prospect of having to go back to going through that same thing again, there's no way. There's no way. I don't think no human being should be expected to do that. It doesn't work that way. That's not how the human psyche works. And I know a lot of people, if it was me, a lot of people say, if it was me, trust me, I've heard if it was me, and then a person is put in that situation and they do the exact opposite. It's the human psyche does not automatically work the way you think it's going to work. You might think you're going to do one thing, and when you put in a situation, wouldn't you know it, you do the actual opposite. And then next thing you know, not only do you do the opposite, then you have a compounding guilt that you have to deal with on top of that, because you had been saying, oh, I'm going to do this is how I'm going to act, and then when the time came, something totally else happened. You never know when you put in a stressful situation what's going to take place, whether you're going to do flight or fright. You could either flight or you might fight. You never know which one is going to take place. That's just how human nature works. And we can impose our own thoughts and ideas of what we're going to do, especially, when family members are involved. But the honest truth is, when you have all of those X factors that are in play with that, it's hard for me to say that Theon was a punk. Theon was way too broken to make that choice. You know what I mean? He made the only choice that was feasible for him. You know what I mean? He made the only choice that he knew to make. And I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that he didn't want to save Yara. I think it had more so to do with the fact that he couldn't, the thought of having to go through that whole experience again was just way too frightening for him to bear. And that is why he jumped. And that's just my 2 cents on that. Have anything else from you guys, from you ladies?
I was just gonna touch on a point that I forgot to talk about. How you say, Yara knew exactly what he was gonna do. Like, if you really look at her face during that sequence, she had a bit of anger towards him, but she was more so sad for him and having to make that choice. Like, that's why she was crying, if you notice. she knew exactly what he was going to do. You know, the Ironborn in her is thinking, no, always fight. And Yar's badass. We know that. That's just what she is. When it comes to the game of axes, they didn't show on the show, but for the book readers, when it comes to the game of axes, she's number one on the whole of the Iron Islands. Like, no one has ever beat her in that. But she knew what the decision that was before her brother, she knew exactly what he was going to do. So while she was angry a bit, she was more sad than angry at his decision. So, you know, like it's almost like she accepted her fate. She's like, all right, I'm going to die anyways. Go save yourself, or at least try to save yourself. Something like that. Still a bitch in my book, but you know, that's what it was.
Lady, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's it. I do feel bad for Theon. And it's like, if it was my sister, I probably would die, guys, and that's not good. Because then Arthur would have the opportunity to rescue her. So that's probably not the smart thing. But I would be so freaked out, like it's happened before. I'm so freaked out. I'm just like, oh my god, like give me back my person. So it's like you just, I don't know.
Y'all want to rate the episode as a whole?
Yeah, I was gonna do that. Lady D, what are your overall thoughts about the show? How would you rate it?
I'm eating ice cream. I would rate it at a 7, guys. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's low. Yeah, it is. But I think that it's not a 10 because it's not a Battle of the Bastards, Winds of Winter.
You can leave it on the table. You can leave
those episodes from them are like 10.
Good job.
Hard
you want
home.
Some more?
So I think this episode was a solid 7, 7.5. Even I give it 7.5. Okay. And I think overall, what we saw was storms happening and the leaders emerging from these storms. Like, we saw storms happening around Daenerys, we saw storms happening around Jon, and even freaking Cersei. We see a storm happening. We see the differing leadership styles, and we see how people in each place are allowed to speak up, which is something that's similar about Daenerys and Jon's court. They're allowed to speak up, but their rulers still make a decision. Whereas in King's Landing, one person says something and the rest of them kind of murmur because this chick just blew up a church 3 weeks ago. So I think the episode overall was a solid episode, and I look forward to next week when they invade the Rock.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go 7 out of 10 for this episode. We're halfway through the season, people. I think there is more greatness to come. So, you know, last episode I gave it a 7.5. This episode I'm gonna give it a 7, and I'm hoping next episode they'll give me enough to bump them up to like an 8 or at least an 8.5. But I don't think we're gonna get the full 10 out of 10 until the finale. And I think we got some good shit coming.
I'm really enjoying the progression of these episodes, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's a little bit slow, but I'm enjoying the progression of how they're building. I'm sorry for the background noise. No, don't roll the car for a few minutes, please. Just give me a few minutes. I'm really enjoying the progression of how they're building. It's like a building block. They're building on top of the first scene. The first episode was just kind of to give us where everybody was at from since the last episode. And now this episode, everybody's now establishing their rule, and you're kind of getting to see where everybody stands in their own particular regions and how they're dealing with leadership and authority, and how are they preparing to meet whatever battle they're getting ready to engage in. And so it was really good to see the dynamics of everybody's rule and how they deal with their subjects and how they make decisions. And and all that other gibberish. So overall, and I also love the human touch of things. I'm if anybody doesn't know, the main thing that attracts me to this story is the human element. I don't really, all the other stuff is great, but to me, what matters, what really attracts me to the story is the human element, and how and why people do the things that they do. Where does it come from that drives them to get to the point where they are? And I like, and I'm really glad we were able to see a lot of the human aspects of each of these characters. And that's all I've got. Now, like I said before, I did not see the preview, so I will not be discussing the previews because I am unsullied for the rest of that. But there are plenty of other chats where they're going to be discussing the previews and all that other stuff. So you are more than welcome to get your previews and leaks and all that other fixes in some other chats. Because I'm sure you'll catch these ladies on that. You probably will not see me in a lot of the other chats at all. But I am really happy that all of you were able to, come and hang out with us first on Lady D's channel and then on mine due to technical difficulties. Really glad that we were able to have a conversation. If you have any questions, I believe we may do a Q&A session at the end of the week, maybe. So if you have any questions, just make sure you write them down, and then we'll come back and do a Q&A session, and we'll answer whatever questions you have on this episode or the first episode if you haven't gotten to it. Ladies, is there anything else that I need to add?
Nah, I think that sums it up. If you guys have questions, there were a couple questions on the stream on Lady D's channel. I did copy those, but they got erased with us having to switch channels. So put them down in the comment section on this video or on Lady D's video, and we will snag them. And I don't know, maybe Friday or Saturday, however, our schedules go, we'll definitely try to get them out there, or we'll talk about them in our next discussion.
Lady D, you have any last words?
It would help if I unmuted myself. But what I would like to say is that this stream has been great. I enjoyed going over the episode with you guys, and I look forward to our next 5 more episodes. So you guys got 5 more Mad Queens episodes too. So looking forward to those. I can't wait to see them run into the rock. And I'm praying Grey Worm doesn't die. I feel like he can't, though, because he's the leader of the Unsullied. And so, what are you going to do, HBO? Just not have a commander for the Unsullied be in the room when she's, you know what I'm saying? You're going to bump up some random guy.
Okay, so we need to do a hashtag that Grey Worm's life matters.
I was even mute for all of that. What's the last thing you guys said? I was going off. I was like, yo, really? HBO? Is that what we're going to do now? We're going to take some rando and put him in Grey Worm's place, some rando we don't even know. We've been looking at Grey Worm for 7 seasons. You're going to kill him? He's going to, so he just go eat the box and die, huh? What kind of message you trying to send, HBO? What is this about? I am so against this. I am so against this, and I will be like, oh, this clearly has something to do with that Confederate show. I will blame everything on that. If Grey Worm dies, I will be trolling the show. Do you hear me? I'm gonna do fair analysis with stuff, but then I'm gonna turn it off about halfway through each stream and just troll. Here's why I now hate everything. How you gonna kill Grey? So I just really hope they don't do that, because you don't do that. You don't have no man eat the box and die. That's a horrible message.
He is the only Unsullied we've really been given. So it would be really fucked. I mean, yeah, the Unsullied will just choose another general for Daenerys, but still, no, you can't just get rid of Grey Worm like that. No, He needs to make it at least to like the last episode of the series, at least.
Come on,
He needs to make it to the Battle of the Dawn, yo.
No, seriously. Like, what would be the point of giving him so much development and making us care so much about this one Unsullied? We haven't gotten anything from the other Unsullied that we've gotten for Grey Worm. What would be the point if he isn't there in the last battle?
Just saying. No. I mean, I don't mean to. I'm sorry if there are any Missandei fans. Yes, she is hot. She got a rocking body, but I'd rather see her go before Grey Worm.
Oh, that's hard for me.
I'm okay if Missandei.
I can't disagree with that.
Grey Worm.
If it comes between one or the two of them, I'm sorry. At the end of it all, Grey Worm is the most useful. That's just the way it is.
Oh, like what? And
I'm gonna need Danny to use the Westerosi version of Google Translate. I don't know. It's just.
But see, that's the thing. She's in Westeros. She don't even need a translator no more.
Oh,
when Melisandre was talking, she already knew. She knows that language already. Nobody else is speaking any other language in Westeros but the common tongue.
Really?
I'm just saying, if it comes between Missandei and Grey Worm, I'm gonna vote for Grey Worm every time.
I'm just saying, it's all right. It's all right. So I'm gonna allow these ladies to do their outro, and then we're gonna end this chat, and then we will see each other on the other side. Go ahead, ladies, do your outros.
Guys, it's Lady D, and it was great being on the channel and going over this episode of Game of Thrones. I cannot wait until next episode. Of course, we got like a week later, but it is what it is. Gotta wait those 6 days, and then we'll be back too next Monday to discuss it all. So hopefully they take the rock. Grey Worm, baby, survive, baby, live. Don't you take my baby. Don't you, please, HBO, if anyone is listening, I don't care if it's already been taped, like, just do this. Do not do this thing. Do not do this thing. So hopefully it doesn't happen, but it's so like you guys are gonna see a side of Lady you just never saw before. Like, I'm just going black wild, and I don't even want to talk about nothing going on, Danny. I don't care if it ain't about the North and the White Walkers coming for that ass. I don't care because you took away Grey Worm. So I really hope that's not what happened.
Would I be wrong if I said Black Lives Matter in Westeros?
Come on, Westeros.
They do. You're not wrong at all.
Unsullied.
No, what the fuck? Speaking of which, what the hell happened to Salvador? He just fucked off.
We got like 2 black people
after like season 3, and we ain't hear shit from him.
Right,
like Salvador was like, "Yo, I ain't about this dying life. Y'all be trying to get into wars and trying to."
Look, but he had a whole fleet.
He had a whole. Just trying to get rich, eat, and fuck. I ain't trying to do.
Davos could have brought Salvador to the table, though. That would have been just more badass ships. And you know what? With Salvador's people there, Euron probably wouldn't have won that fight because Salvador would not have been having that shit. Euron wants to fuck Cersei. Salvador wants to fuck Cersei. He would have shanked Euron in the eye, and that shit would have been a wrap. I'm just saying.
If the show is anything like the books, which we know it's not, they probably just cut him out because of the alternative storyline. But if tinfoil hat, I'm just telling y'all right now, put it on. If there's any merit to GRA, then Salvador Sand is off doing something for the Iron Bank. Anyway, that's why we ain't seeing him no more. He got bigger fish to fry. His family is a key holder for the Iron Bank.
Yeah. Really though? Okay. I might need to bring Tinfoil Thursdays back to speak on that. I think I like that theory a little bit.
That's interesting. Sons of the Dragon PDF, guys. George R.R. Martin, Sons of the Dragon PDF. And I believe Radio Westeros or History of Westeros, one of them has like a breakdown of when he read it in 2012 or 2014. And it has notes in there. And Sand, banker, son, and you see the description of Salvador Sand. He's a pirate and a banker. And like, this is what it is. And then when you look in the world of Ice and Fire, you see who started like this Iron Bank. It was pirates. these people freed themselves and then did what they needed to do to get their bread up so that they can run the world. And I'm starting to believe that their many-faced God is really just money. But that's a whole nother thing.
I've always thought that there was a link between the Iron Bank and the House of Black and White. And again, you know, random fan headcanon / fan fiction. I've read at least one very, very good story that a fan fiction author came up with where the House of Black and White was directly tied to
they are
the Iron Bank and how they came to power. And I really like where that's going, Lady D. I appreciate that.
the fan fiction, but I can tell, like, we see them. We see the faceless men take Ari into the Iron Bank vault. And we read it. Like, that he has this keel that clicks 3 times and they descend and ascend and ascend. In the world of Ice and Fire, we learn that it's mining tunnels that they hid all this wealth in, so it would have to descend and descend and descend and twist around like a mining tunnel. And that's what she was walking down. She wasn't walking down like a hallway. You know what I'm saying? Something wide for you to walk down with, you know, sconces and stuff, lighting. Nah, and this is the Iron Bank. So you would think, not the Iron Bank, this is the House of the Faceless Men. You would think that because of the House of Black and White is what it is, you guys are taking such high-paying contracts and stuff. Where's all the money going? Where's everything going? It's down in that vault where the faces are. And what else is down in that vault? It's the Iron Bank. The freaking Faceless Men are key holders for the Iron Bank. And it's like, we read it and it's like, this is interesting. So it's just,
you know, that lightweight ties into, like, I don't know if anybody plays the Game of Thrones Ascent game on Facebook, but I do. And they have the Iron Bank tied in with the Faceless Men. And it's pretty interesting. So yeah, I like where all of that is going. But I'm gonna drop it back to Monero for the outros and whatnots.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Just give me a second before you.
Don't beat the baby. T-Baby ain't here, so I gotta say it for her.
I'm just asking him not to roll the.
I'm just saying, T's not here. I gotta say it for her. Don't beat the baby. See, the baby wants a hug. Don't beat the baby.
Beat the baby.
Stop it right now, woman.
Slap him.
That's not me, y'all. That's my roommate.
Beat the baby.
Sometimes a baby needs a smack or two.
Whoop that ass. Whoop that ass.
I'm gonna need you to shut up.
Oh, don't you gotta beat.
I am really glad that I had the opportunity to hang out with my girls. If you don't know, we are officially the Mad Queens. Merch might be coming. I'm sorry. That's the hustle man talking. Just playing. I'm really glad that I had an opportunity to hang out with my girls to talk about this episode. I'm really glad that I was able to hang out with all of you in the chats because you guys always make these a lot of fun. I'm so glad that you came and hung out with us. Please check out all of the girls and their channels, putting out great stuff. And if you didn't know, congrats to AK on hitting 100 plus on her channel. And we need to put something out that says bring back tinfoil Thursdays so we can get these tinfoils cracking, because I got a tinfoil hat that's just been sitting around collecting dust, just saying. And I would really like to go, you know, dust it off and put it back on, even though I don't know, I have no tinfoil I have no tinfoil, you know, I don't know nothing about tinfoil. I just come just to look cute in my tinfoil hat. That's all I do. What else? Yeah, it was really great hanging out with everybody. So I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week. And I will catch some of you in some of these chats. Please look out for T-Baby coming up on the Small Council. T-Baby, you could just put it down in the chats when you'll be on the Small Council next. And please look out for these ladies in whatever other endeavors they're getting ready to do. Once again, thank you for hanging out, man. This is like the longest outro ever. I gotta go handle these babies' kids. Love y'all and peace.